I'm Public Information Officer Pam Spencer. On this episode of Paducah View, we're going to talk about this card titled You and the Law. The Paducah Police Department wants each interaction between an officer and a citizen to be informative and positive, even if someone is being arrested. Paducah Police Chief Brandon Barnhill joins us to explain how that can be done.
Well, it initially came from several different responses of everything that's going on around the nation. And, there are occasions here within our own community that we have interaction with the public that may be deemed or perceived not to be positive. So generally the basic guidelines were produced in this card form or fashion that we wanted to be able to hand out to community members, especially churches and those type organizations that wanted to take some time to explain to their youth. Really, if you want to change a culture, then you have to talk to the youth. You have to grab that group that is really in a learning and more or less a sponge type nature, that they're absorbing all information. It's a prime opportunity for us to talk about interactions with law enforcement. So we pushed it out to several different organizations and have offered up Community Resource Officer Gretchen Morgan to follow that up with some conversation and just to take it and have that interaction of, well, this is why law enforcement does what they do, and these are the reasons behind that, and to give that understanding versus just leaving that out to be perceived with maybe some truth or some false information to kind of follow behind it and guide their perceptions of what law enforcement does. The initial conversation between, or the interaction between the officer and the individual is key. It's one of those pieces that you can always started off on the right foot, or you can always get started off on the wrong foot, which is not what we want. Law enforcement is structured where, as a society, we have to have laws that govern our actions, and that is built into our society for a positive reason. So interaction with law enforcement, the people that enforce those laws should not be deemed or looked at from a negative aspect. The officer is there actually to withhold justice and to keep laws within society for the benefit of all. It's not that the law enforcement officer is there to take away rights. We're there to make sure that your rights are there available to you. So within the interaction of the law enforcement officer with the citizen, whether it be on a traffic stop or an individual encounter, always needs to get started off on the right foot, and that should be a cordial response. The old golden rule, so to speak, is doing to others that you wouldn't want done unto you. The officer should treat you with respect, treat you fairly, as well as you should treat the officer with respect and treat them fairly, and have that conversation to get to the root cause of the encounter. We want encounters with the public to be positive. We feel like that is the best way to do the best job at policing. When we have that relationship and we have that understanding that unfortunately someone might be arrested or someone might get a citation and be summoned to court, but it's based on what the community feels are the values of the community. There are laws, state laws that are there that we must enforce, but also response to incidents are sometimes based upon community perception. So that interaction with the law enforcement officer doesn't have to be a negative. There are times that we arrest people and they thank us. In those instances, we try to look back and ask, why are they thanking us? And a large portion of those thank you responses are, yes, I violated the law, I got caught, but you treated me fairly. And that's ultimately what we want. We're not here the judge and the jury, so to speak. We are here to enforce the law. The officer has to enforce that. They may have to take you to jail, but they don't have to condemn you. They don't have to browbeat you, so to speak, and talk down upon you. They just have to do their job and, hand you over to the court system, and whatever happens after that is up to them.
Copies of You and the Law are available through the Paducah Police Department by calling 270-444-8548. Thanks for watching Paducah View.